Here's another thing we keep doing. We keep reinventing things that already work.
Well, you get the new guys in, and the new guy has to prove that he knows better than the last guy, and then he invents exactly the same thing as the last guy did, and everybody pats him on the back.
Well, here's what's going on. I sent you the link about that aircraft earlier.
Right, right.
All right. They are putting together a turboprop
Here, let's just
close
do
air
that.
support reconnaissance aircraft.
Boop.
There it is right there.
The LAR. It even has a stupid name.
Light attack arm reconnaissance. All right. So we did a whole world war where virtually all of the aircraft were, rotary, propeller driven.
Yeah.
And I believe the best and most durable fighter that we had was the P-47 Thunderbolt.
I thought it was the P-51.
No, well, the P-51 is a high altitude interceptor, but since
okay.
it was water cooled, it was susceptible to ground fire. The P-47, like, there's all kinds of stories of that aircraft coming back to its airfield minus 2 cylinders from the radial engine. What I'm trying to say here is we've already invented this fucking wheel, and we already have the plans. Why are we reinventing it with some shit like this and wasting our tax dollars when you could simply pull out that P-47 plan? You can change it around, add in, the new carbon fiber, whatever.
Kyber Farben?
Yeah. Put all our current technology in it. And we already know it could take a fucking beating because it did so in the Pacific and over Germany.
Okay.
And just use that.
Okay.
And they're going to throw away all kinds of money to make this fucking fucked up thing, which is every aircraft that gets built is always fucked for the first 5 to 10 years that it's in service. Like the Blackhawks, when they were just coming in, when I was coming up in the Army, we called them Crash Hawks because they crashed all the fucking time.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. The aircraft should be capable of finding, tracking, and attacking targets either on its own or in support of ground forces. We have aircraft that do this already.
Yes.
The program formally began in 2009 with an RFI. No request for proposal has yet been issued. Approximately 100 aircraft were expected to be ordered, but Air Force has reduced the number of aircraft sought to 15. 15 is useless. That's a theater because you're going to have, 8 forward. Of those 8, 4 are going to be ready to go at any given time. 2 are going to be deadlined, and 2 are going to be there for parts
or maintenance. Because after so many hours, you have to do
you
maintenance.
have to do maintenance. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If you look at a forward deployed airfield image and you see 100 planes, okay, 30 of those planes are combat ready. 30 of those planes are in a repair cycle. 10, 15 of those planes are there for parts or have a deadline that's put them down and they're just using them for parts. And then the remainder are being looked at.
Correct.
Because they're not sure whether or not they want to deadline them or not. They're in limbo between operational and deadline.
What this can actually carry?
LAS was born out of the need for a new close air support aircraft that suited the type of combat the U.S. was facing in a post-2003. The Warthog did all this. The close air support role was carried out by several different aircraft, including the Thunderbolt, the B-1B Lancer, the Falcon, and the Strike Eagle. When those aircraft are capable of close air support, only the A-10 was purpose-built. Excuse me, for that task. For example, these aircraft do not have the loiter time needed for these missions and require air refueling support, making their missions. That might be it, because this thing could maybe stay on station longer, but that's not like a major selling point. If it can't do the job of an A-10, who cares how long it can stay on station?
It's called drop tanks. You drop tanks on a P-47 that's been souped up to modern standards.
Yep.
You're going to not have all the research and development costs.
Yeah.
And it can fucking work.
Yeah, this thing is 1,500 pounds of fuel per hour, which is actually fairly reasonable. I don't see anything here about loadout. Renewed attention, project cancellation, requirements, rough field operations. RFI required the aircraft be capable of operating semi-prepared runways such as grass or dirt. We have a bunch that can do that. Defensive package, missile awareness, radar warning receiver, chaff and flare. Okay, everybody's got that. We have tanks that have that.
Uh-huh.
Long loiter time, able to fly 5-hour sorties. Okay. With a 30-minute refuel time. Okay, that's nice. Range of 900 nautical miles. Data link capability, everybody has that now. ISR capabilities, everybody has that now. Weaponry, the LAR will need at least 4 weapon stores capable of carrying a variety of weapons, including 500 pounders. It's only going to be able to carry 2 of those at the most. 2.75-inch rockets. Everybody and their mother's got fucking 2.75s. Rail-launched missiles and illumination flares. Aircraft will be capable of aerial gunnery with an integrated or pylon-mounted gun.
So,
I don't see anything here that defeats any of the stuff that we already have.
Yeah, I know. All right. Do me a favor and do a lookup on a P-47 and then see if we can compare the two together. Because one was built and started being built in 1943, and it was used up until the Korean War. And I believe they used it a little bit during the beginnings of the Vietnam War as well.
The first group guys I was with over in Okinawa were jumping out of boxcars. Remember those?
Yeah, I jumped out of those.
They had like 2 boxcars. I never got to go near one of those, but it looked cool. P-47 Thunderbolt. The Republic P-47 Thunderbolt.
There it is.
It's a World War II era fighter craft deployed by Republic Aviation. Successful high altitude. It was a high altitude fighter.
Yeah.
And fighter bomber in the ground attack role. 50
it
cal,
could carry
5-inch rockets. Dude, it could carry 2,500 pounds of bombs.
Yes.
That's pretty impressive for a prop
and when
aircraft.
it was fully loaded, it weighed 8 fucking tons. It's hard to shoot down. It's incredibly fucking tough. Why the fuck are we spending billions of dollars to reinvent something that we already have tested in war and it works?
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point. Let's look back at the LAS here real quick. Go back up to here. And I don't see anything here that looks more vulnerable than the P-47 to me.
Yes.
I mean, you've got a gunner, obviously. You got a pilot and an orderly officer. But the P-47,
you have one dude. You have one bag of meat. The other one has 2 bags of meat.
Yep.
But that had 8 50 caliber machine guns. You can easily put 20 mics on there.
Besides, that just looks cool.
Yeah, but if you're going to use propeller-driven aircraft, just go back to something that we've already, did the research and development. We've tested it in battle. It is fucking durable as fuck.
Do we even have guys who could design an engine like that?
They could figure it out.
Anymore?
I mean, the plans are still there.
It doesn't mean we have guys who can still build them, though.
Well, we could figure it out.
Jimmy could probably do it. We'll just send Jimmy.
Yeah. Go back to the data sheet on the P-47. Let's see what else they got.
Doop. Here's development, U.S. service. There's the gun harmonizations all of that stuff is elaborately timed. For those of you who don't understand how these prop-driven aircraft work, the machine guns were designed to fire through the propeller blades. And that right there alone is some fucking math, man. P-41 and Allied service. I mean, this guy saw the Italian campaign, World War II, Soviet service, German service. The Taiwanese had some. It was a high-speed diver as well, apparently. High-altitude performance. First saw action with fourth fighter group. I don't
Well,
see any of the configurations. Here's a ground attack roll.
Yeah, ground attack. I'm just wondering what its operational range was and all that stuff, because it's probably comparable to the shit they're wasting billions of dollars on today.
Let's go to variants. Well, go to variants. I clicked your thing. Go to your thing.
There we go. There's the variance.
There we go.
Wingspan, airfall, empty weight, gross weight, max takeoff, power plant,
prop performance range 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
That's 100 miles more than the little LAS.
And that's without drop tanks.
Yeah, that was its range.
Yeah.
What do they do? You're totally right. Why are they not using this? Call Pete Hegseth right now. Just fucking dial him up and go, hey.
I don't have on speed dial. But I mean,
I lost all those superpowers.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, we're reinventing the same shit over and over and over again. And in my opinion, it's needless.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporters Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.